Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to my dear students all over the world. And you know that we are going through this book. As always, I tell you that we are going to this book because it is very necessary to tell you that this is a very comprehensive and very unique book for IGCSE students and Cambridge students. In the last lecture, what we was studied was the application of the laws of the indices. The same applies here with a little difference, and that is we are going to uh, take negative indices today. As in our last lecture, I don't remember what the part was. Uh, the power of the denominator was greater than the power of the numerator, like this. Suppose this was our case that x here and it was like this x cube maybe. So in our general practice till exercise 2.8, what we did that we took this denominator to numerator like this. We took denominator to the numerator. But what happened when the power the index of the denominator is greater than the index of the numerator? So instead of bringing this taking this denominator to the numerator, what we did in our last question that we reversed the process, and what we did was 1 divided by x cube multiplied by x minus 2. Now what we did, we brought this numerator to the denominator, and the final result what came was 3 plus minus 2. So what happened? Plus and minus minus, and 3 plus minus minus, it became 3 minus 2 and finally x. So you see that how we reverse the process of indices by the same laws which we studied prior to exercise 2.8. This was the law of division. Now in this exercise, what we are going to do is we are going to do just the same case. Or if it is written like this, x minus 4. See, if it is written f minus 4, so what does it mean? That this is a reciprocal of like this. This is a reciprocal. X minus 4 will be written like this. It was originally like this, but we converted it into like this, and again we have converted it back to its original position. So if minus sign appears, you just write the reciprocal of the whatsoever it is written. So there are no further rules for this. The rules will remain the same except with the negative sign. So let's start the exercise, which is very easy today, and I hope that we'll finish the exercise today. So the exercise is exercise 2.9. Question number is 1. Evaluate. Now what we have to evaluate is part A 4 minus 1. So what is it? What does it mean? It means that it has come from denominator. The 4 has come from denominator. So take it back to the denominator. It will be like this. You see, if I just repeat the process from the back and side. Now this is the base. Either it is a constant or it is a variable. In this case, it is a constant. It is raised to power 1. It is raised to power 1. Here it is plus. And if I take it to words numerator, it will be written like this. So this is our answer without this. This is our answer. Question number 1 is very same all over the world. So if let me do part D because it is a slightly different part. 5 raised to power minus 3. 5 and it has the index, negative index is minus 3. What will we do? Like this. Because we have to evaluate it. So it does not end over here. So we have to, what we have to do is, we have to find 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. It is 25 and it is 125. So what is the net answer here is 125. Same is the case in part F. Part F says that 2 raised power minus 5. Now it does mean that it will go in denominator, and since we have to evaluate it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I don't write the figure. 2 times 4, 4 2 times 8, 8 2 times 16, 16 2 times 32. So what will we come up with is 1 divided by 32. This is the answer. Let us proceed to question number 2. Question number 2 says, state whether the following are true or false. We have to find true or false. True or false. Okay. Now part A. Part A is 4 raised to power minus 2 and it is equal to 1 by 16. Now this is our whole question and we have to state that whether it is true or it is false. So let us proceed. Now it is like this. The power is in negative, so we brought it down, and 4 square is 1 by 16, so it is true. A big T. Part C. Part C is x minus 3 and it is equal to, what is given is 1 upon 3x. It doesn't seems to be okay to me, but let me check it before I infer any result. So what does it mean? It means that 1 is like this. So what it is written here is 1 upon 3x. Now what is originally what it originally is 1 upon x cube. So the statement is false. A big red F. Similarly, part D, and part D is 2x minus 2, and it is equal to 1 upon x. So it again does not seems to be okay to me, but let me solve it. Now you see that this term has two components. One is the coefficient and other is the uh, variable. So the power is only upon the variable, not on the constant. So what we do is 2 divided by x square. So this is the original, is the correct thing to do. We leave 2 where it was, we bring x square to the denominator, so it will become like this, not like this. So it is false again. It is false. Question number 3. Now we have to write the expressions in positive positive indices. Write each expression so it has only positive indices. Positive indices. So we have to write the each indices so that it has positive indices, not the negative indices. So question number 3, part A is x minus 2. So it will become 1 upon x square. Part C, x y the whole minus 2. It will be 1 upon xy whole square. So you see that these are very easy to make them positive. Just reciprocate them. Now it is something different. 2x minus 2. So it will become 2 will remain here and x will become like this. Part G. In fact, these are very easy. You can easily do it by yourself. 8x y cube with the minus sign. So you see that there are two variables here. Now this variable has a power which is positive. So it is with the positive sign. So we don't need to have to change this x from here and the coefficient also. So what will happen here, that we will write 8x. Now 8x will remain as it is, and what will happen with y, will take it to the denominator with to convert the sign to the positive. So the answer will remain that the positive things will remain where these were, and the negative is converted to its reciprocal and it is in the denominator now. Similarly, part H, the last part of this question number 3 is 12x minus. Now 12x, now you see that this is with sign minus over here, and y is again with minus sign 4. Should not be confused with minus 3 and y is minus 4. So, dear students, now only positive component is this one. The rest are the negative. So, let it remain where it is 12 divided by x cube and y 4. Last question of the exercise is coming up. Simplify, write your answer using only positive indices. So it is just like question number 3. It is just like question number 3, but still we have to question number 4, part A, uh, x minus cube multiplied by x4. So what will happen over here? Which is positive, let it remain where it is and bring this thing down. So you see that this is this will be written like this, but instead if we follow the rule of indices, very first rule, what will happen here? That their bases are same, the bases are same, write one of the two. So add both of the indices like this. Add both of the indices like this. So what will happen over here? You see that x now positive multiplied by negative is negative. It will become x only. 4 minus 3 is 1. So x. Now if you elaborate this one also, you see that these three x will be cancelled with this. Only one x will remain if I go in detail. Now this is if I go in detail. You need not to write this. You see that 1x, 2x, 3x, only one x is left. So here you have 1x and here you also have 1x. So dear students, we'll be using this method, the law. We will be using law. Part B, question number 4, part B. We'll be using laws of the indices. 2x 2x minus 3. Now this is minus 3 and multiplied by 3x minus 3. 3x minus 3. So it will become, you see that the bases are same. So what will we do? So dear students, what will we do over here? That what we did in our exercise 2.8, that we'll multiply the both coefficients. So it will become 6. Simple. 2 times 3 is 6. And what about we'll add, because the bases are same. So what will we do? Minus 3 plus into minus 3 again. So you see what happens over here? 6 and it will become minus 3 minus 3. 6 minus 6. 6 divided by 6. Now some more parts from question number, and that is C. 4x cube which is divided by 12x7. So in fact it does mean that 4x cube multiplied by like this. So we can cancel 4 one times and 4 three times. So it is done. The coefficients are done. Now what we have to do, we have to bring it to the positive integers as the uh, question states. Question states that write your answer using only positive integers. Write your answer using only positive integers. So what we have to do is, we'll bring this x cube down to the denominator. So it will become 1 divided by 3 and 7 minus 3. X 7 minus 3. It will finally it will appear like this: 1 upon 3 x 4. X minus 7 divided by x 4. Now since we have to bring it to positive integer, positive indices, so what will we do? We'll bring this into denominator, so it will become x 4 plus x plus 7. So the final answer will be 11. That's very much easy. Part E. So it is 2x square whole raised to power minus 3. First of all, what we have to do is, we have to change this sign by doing it like this. Now we have brought everything which is enclosed within the bracket because of 3, this minus. So this minus 3 is being applied all over this bracket. So we have brought, you have noticed that in our previous question we didn't bring the coefficient from, we didn't shift the coefficient from its original place. But here, since it is enclosed in bracket, so we have shifted it also with the sign, with the index. So it will become 2 and 6. 2 cube is 8, and multiply the power with power, it will become 6. Part F. Part F is x minus 2 raised to power again 3. Since it is raised to power, so what we have to do is, we'll use the raised to power indices, will minus 6. So it will become 1 upon x 6. It was easy. G. I've almost done every part in this question. X minus 3, and it is divided by x minus 4. So we'll just shift both the places. It will become x4 divided by x3. Now you see that 3 will be cut with this x. You can also do it x minus 3. So you can also do it like this. Bring this sign over here, it will become also positive because it is negative over here. When you bring it into the numerator, it will change its sign and it will become positive. So it will become x minus 3 plus 4, it will become x. There are two ways of solving this. And the last question is coming up, and I do it over here to avoid any erasing. X minus 2 and x3. So it is very easy. Again, bring this over here, x3 the original component over here, and when you bring this it will be added over here. Okay, since it is negative, when you bring it to downwards, it the sign will be changed, it will become x. So dear students, this is all for today, because we have finished the exercise. We'll be doing some fractional indices in our next lecture. So stay tuned, and till then, it's time to say you goodbye. Before saying you goodbye, I'll ask you to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends and your colleagues and students. So uh, my each lecture will come to you at very first click. So it's time to say you goodbye. Allah.